Welcome to another Monday. It's been a couple weeks since my last review. I had one prepared for you last week, but extenuating circumstances meant that it had to be passed on. This week there were several new releases, and I actually had a daunting, overbearing theater experience taking in 4 in the past 2 days. But let's be honest, there was only ever one movie that I was going to review today. There was no doubt that it was going to take the top spot at the box office. The only question was how much money is it going to make? So without any further ado, let's go back to a galaxy far, far away with my take on Rogue One. Our film begins with the Erso family. Galen Erso was an Imperial engineer who left to become a farmer when he saw the evil possibilities of his creations. He and his family are living on their farm until the Empire comes to take him back. In the chaos, his wife is killed, but his daughter Jyn escapes to be raised by a rebel. We move years into the future now. Jyn Erso, played by Felicity Jones, has been arrested and sentenced to labor by the Imperials for numerous charges. The Rebel Alliance has learned that the Empire is building a new superweapon under the guidance of Jyn's father. They break her out, hoping that she can help them discover her father's whereabouts. Agreeing to work with the rebellion, she sets out with a crew to find a defected pilot who supposedly carries a message about the weapon. They arrive at an Imperial-controlled region and find Saw Gerrera, played by Forest Whitaker, who raised Jyn and was the recipient of the message, which is actually from Jyn's father. He describes the weapon as a Death Star and relays that he has built a flaw into it which can cause its destruction, but they need to locate the plans. Meanwhile, the Empire has discovered his treachery and heads for the plans as well to see if any sabotage has occurred. As the movie progresses, it's a race between the two groups to acquire the schematics. A small group of rebels led by Jyn head to the planet in order to sneak in and cause enough chaos to allow them to get the plans to the Death Star. As she goes in search, the action commences as her group of fighters goes on the attack in order to cause a full-scale distraction. Even though we as the audience know the final outcome, we still wait on the edge of our seat, bound by the suspense of watching it play out. So, to start off, I'm going to go ahead and say it. I was not as excited about this movie as I have been about any of the other movies in the franchise, which is weird because I'm a huge Star Wars fan. And in fact, I even freaked out my parents at 5 years old when I had the original one memorized, including alien dialogue. I think I'm just getting scared of overkill, being that Disney plans on putting out a new Star Wars movie every year until we can actually travel at light speed. But I opened my mind a little since this one actually follows in the original timeline as an immediate prequel. But then I was immediately let down with the absence of the iconic opening Star Wars scene. Then I was a little thrown off by some iffy CGI of a character from the original movie, and in fact it becomes a game of how many characters from the original movie can we actually CGI into this one. So, until about halfway through the movie, I was a little disheartened. But then the second half comes in with a bang. It becomes a true Star Wars movie, and even the music seems to flow better, which I also thought was a little off in the first half. So, to sum it up, there's the first half of this movie, which is okay. But then there's the second half, which is just absolutely amazing and pretty much guarantees that I'll be seeing it at least another time or two in the theater. On a quick side note, the movie I was going to do for you last week was Office Christmas Party. If you're still debating seeing it, it has some good laughs, although it's a pretty predictable movie, which is probably better off for home viewing. But, like I said, some good laugh-out-loud parts. This has been your Monday Movie Musing. Back to you.